are some things that you think you do or that you focus on that could enlighten someone that's um, trying to get in? And we're going to bounce around a little bit. We'll get back to the how did you get to be where you are and why. But what are some things that you think are not trade secrets, but that would just boy, because every time I talk to you, I go, God, how does he know that? Or how does he do that? That's indecently brilliant. And for you, it's just blocking and tackling. So what are some things that you think would benefit the average person that's either new to the job market or wants to change careers and is maybe struggling because of COVID, or just in general doesn't really understand and isn't having any success in that endeavor?
So you mean like people that are looking for jobs right now, like what's going on behind the scenes so they can be more attractive to companies and recruiters?
Be more attractive, but also just be more educated. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times it's just a big black box. I send my
Yeah.
resume in and I I never hear anything, or and that's a hyperbolic example, but yeah, anything, any kind of
Yeah.
insight or perspective, because I think there's a lot of stuff that you do that people would be fascinated to hear about.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you saying that, first of all. I think, the number one thing is that, and I'm not sure how antiquated this is, but, uh, for the past 15 years or so, it seems like recruiters have looked at candidates in terms of either active talent or passive talent. Active talent are the people that are applying for jobs on Indeed or Glassdoor or the company career site. They're actively looking. Passive talent are the ones that have a LinkedIn profile or a GitHub profile or a resume out there somewhere that recruiters or sourcers who are in talent acquisition, there's a role called a sourcer. And I don't know if everybody knows this, but their whole job is to go out and find that passive talent. And so if you look at, first I'll talk about active talent, how to be noticed. So if you're looking for a job, of course you've got to apply, right? I mean, a lot of time it's a compliance requirement. Like you've got to literally fill out the application before anyone can really talk to you or advance advance you in the process. I think, I think, I guess my key tips would be to, research the company, research the role, and then optimize your LinkedIn profile and your resume so it really speaks to those roles. A lot of the software that recruiters use has algorithms that kind of stack rank applicants based on keywords. So, search engine optimization, SEO, I think everybody kind of knows what that is now, but imagine if you were making a website and you were trying to sell, shoes in Portland or something like that. That website would be stuffed with keywords and images and different phrase combinations. So on Google, when somebody's looking for shoes in Portland, that would pop up. You should do the same thing with your LinkedIn profile, and you should do the same thing with your resume, because a lot of the software that recruiters use, that's kind of how the algorithm works. And I'm oversimplifying it. There's more, around that, education requirements, degree, years of experience, things like that. But I think that really taking that extra half hour, an hour before you click submit to tweak your content is not going to hurt. Doing your research and understanding what the company does and how your skills are relevant. And cover letters are kind of passe now. I kind of think that the email you send is your cover letter and the resume is the attachment. If you're not applying online, or if you're following up with an email, talk about precisely how your experience relates to exactly the mission of this company and how you can make a quantifiable contribution, day one, essentially, or after your first 90 days, in two paragraphs. Look at who at the company. Let them know you applied. Ask them if they can You know, have an informational interview. Talk to people who have worked at the company and have left because they know people there, right? It's about getting that inside kind of track and getting that referral. A lot of companies hire 30, 40, 50% of all of their hires based on referrals. It's not what you know, it's who you know, right? I mean, that still holds up. So it's being really purposeful with LinkedIn and going beyond finding a job and clicking submit, but going like one level deeper, 2 levels deeper, like peeling the onion back, going on LinkedIn groups, Facebook, finding people that work at Splunk there that might be first, second, third degree connections, hitting them up. Hey, I just applied for this role. What do you think? Could we chat? Could I pick your brain? Something like that. You've got to be aggressive. Number one, right? When jobs are getting 1, 2, 3, 400 applicants, like in tech with really like precise, concise requirements, you know, you've got to do something to kind of, you got to do everything to make yourself stand out. You know, if they hold events, if they hold podcasts, if they hold, like watch it, comment on it, set up a Google News alert, follow what's going on, connect with those people that are highlighted. You know what I mean? And it doesn't have to be like, the other side of the coin is like, for recruiters, when we find a candidate we really want to hire, we can't just be like, I have a job for you right now, like come work here, because they're not going to always respond like they're happy where they're at. It's about building that rapport, that relationship. The same thing for candidates. Like if you really want to work at a company, like network with as many people there as you can. Twitter, you know what I mean? Like all of that. The other side of it, the passive candidates, if you're happy where you're at, you've got a good gig, you're getting paid, like all of that. It's always good to have people like coming to you, and so you can automatically basically see what else is out there. Same thing, optimize your profile, be active on forums, contribute, network. So yeah. And I think the other thing too is like after you apply, find out who the recruiter is or hiring managers. Like be aggressive, be purposeful, you know, drive it like you stole it, so to speak, like go after it. You know what I mean? Like if you're serious about it, you're going to stand out more than, you got to be qualified, right? Like this isn't like the magic silver bullet, but, you know, you got to do something to make yourself stand out. And if it's not for this role, then you'll be on the radar. You'll have this network. It's not like it just vanishes after this thing disappears. You'll be like top of mind for the next thing. It's about pervasiveness, like being top of mind. You know, it's the same thing I do as a recruitment marketing professional. I want to be top of mind for when people have that compelling event in their life, even if they're happy, when they're ready to jump someplace, they're looking for a new gig. I want them to think of Splunk first. Should be the same thing. When a new role opens up at this company you're pursuing, they should think of you first.